It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Cruz.
Welcome to your Memorial Day weekend. I'm glad you're joining me today, and I hope that you're out there having some fun. It is the unofficial start of the camping season. I have no doubt some of you are out there at a campsite drinking a cup of coffee, tuning into the show today. We should also remember, though, that Memorial Day is not just a long weekend. It is the weekend where we recognize those that have given their all in the service of our country, whether they served in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. And it's also a time to remember the families of those that lost their loved ones too. So reach out to them, pay some respect. If there's Memorial Day activities going on in the community you live in, consider attending. It's a great way of paying respect and saying thanks. This week on the show, we've got some great guests for you. One of them is Brooks Hansen with Camp Chef. Thought Memorial Day weekend would be a great time to get him on so we can talk about the big sale they've got going on through the 27th. If you're looking for the perfect car camping stove, check out the Explorer 14 for only $99 at campchef.com, or the Pro 14, along with several of the accessories they have like grill boxes and griddles. Get these items and you'll be grilling up some great camp food this summer. In addition to talking about what's for sale, Brooks is also going to give you some suggestions on what to cook up for dinner and for breakfast this Memorial Day weekend at a campground near you. You'll hear from Brooks towards the end of the show, but prior to that, you're going to hear from Gordie Murphy. He is the owner of a company called Fishoholic, and they specialize in fishing apparel, to include fishing shirts, fishing gloves, and sunglasses, including prescription sunglasses. And the sunglasses, quite affordable. They start off at around $25. They come in a hard case. I've been trying out a pair. I really like them. And guess what? We're going to be giving away a pair of these sunglasses along with a little bit of swag from Fishoholic to one lucky listener this weekend. If you want to enter for a chance to win, all you have to do is shoot me an email through our website at americaoutdoorsradio.com or just send it to info@americaoutdoorsradio.com. Let me know what station you're listening to today, as well as what city and state you're from, and you've got an entry. We'll draw a winner midweek to give our podcast listeners a chance to participate as well. Our other guest of the day, that would be Bill Brassard. He's a Senior Communications Director for the National Shooting Sports Foundation, and they are rolling out something special June 1st through the 7th. It's called the Gun Storage Check Week, and it's a time where firearms owners are reminded to check to see if their firearms are safely secured. Whether it be with a cable lock or in a lockbox or in a safe, you can prevent not only theft, but also tragedies occurring through the safe storage of your firearms at home. Bill will share some facts and figures about firearms injuries and deaths and what you can do to make sure that they don't happen. Something else we'll cover on the show today is a chance to go fishing with me in Alaska. I'm heading to Sportsman's Cove Lodge in July, and it just so happens the week that I'm going, they are offering a special $1,000 off the normal rate for a 3-day, 3-night stay at this wonderful lodge on Prince of Wales Island near Ketchikan. Better still, there are actually slots open on the boat I'm fishing. There's 6 slots on every boat. My daughter and I have got 2, and we would love to go fishing with some of you. Well, to give you more details, but if you want to get a head start on this, just go to alaskasbestlodge.com. That's the website for Sportsman's Cove Lodge, and book a trip for July 6th through the 9th. Get the promo code and tell them you heard it on the radio and you'd like to go fishing on my boat. It's going to be a ton of fun. This portion of the show is brought to you by our friends at Henry Repeating Arms. This is a patriotic company that recognizes veterans who have served, and they did so during the annual National Rifle Association meeting last week, when Henry Repeating Arms President Andy Wickstrom had the distinct privilege of presenting retired U.S. Army Major General Patrick Brady, the most highly decorated American veteran alive today, with a limited edition new original Henry Silver Deluxe engraved rifle. General Brady is a Texas native and one of only 2 living veterans to hold both the Congressional Medal of Honor and the Distinguished Service Cross, the nation's highest and second highest military awards for his valor in service as a medevac helicopter pilot in Vietnam. In the words of Andrew Wickstrom, it is heroes like General Brady who inspire us to strive for excellence in all pursuits and to commit ourselves to the values we hold dear. I'll tell you what, it's things like these that make me proud to partner with Henry Repeating Arms. And if you want to check out their lineup of firearms, just go to their website. You'll find it at henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com. Be sure to ask for your free catalog and decals while you're there. Speaking of well-deserved recognition, I got to tell you about a person I really respect. His name is Bill Harsey. He lives down in Oregon State. And when I first got my regional show, Northwestern Outdoors Radio, on KPNW, 1120 out of Eugene, I got an email from Bill. Had no idea who he was, but he was very generous and very kind. And I told the programming director about this, and he says, "Do you know who Bill Harsey is?" And I said, "No." "Well, he is a master knife maker. He has designed knives for Almar, for Beretta, Chris Reeves knives, Columbia River Knife and Tool Company, Gerber, Ruger, and Spartan blades. He even designed the U.S. Army Special Forces Green Beret knife, also known as the Yarborough for Chris Reeve knives, a Navy SEAL Silver Trident knife, and designed the official knife of the Canadian Special Forces as well. Well, according to Blade magazine, Bill was recognized for all this work. He is now a member of the Cutlery Hall of Fame, the world's only shrine to the giants of the entire knife industry, and he is one of 74 knife makers who has received this honor, which is one heck of a lifetime honor. So, Bill, congratulations. Really happy this happened for you. It's a well-deserved honor and recognition. And now it's time for one of my favorite segments.
It's Record Fish Time.
From Fox News, we learned that an Alabama teen may have just set a new state record for snook. The teenager in question is Gardner Love. He's 17 years old. He's fishing the brackish waters along Soldier Creek, which leads to Perdido Bay, not far from Alberta. Love, who actually is also a deckhand on a boat, was just fishing to blow off some steam after final exams. And in his words, was fishing for whatever was biting, whether it be trout or redfish. Love said he was in the back of the creek, a spot that he doesn't normally fish, and cast towards a body of water where a little tree was hanging over, at the edge of a big grassland marsh. Well, Love's lure got snagged in the tree. He yanked it out, it fell in the water, and as soon as it did, a big fish blew up on it and went into the air. Love said at first he thought it was a tarpon, but when he got it closer and it jumped again, he saw that it was actually a snook. Love said he didn't have a net on the boat because he wasn't expecting to catch anything that big. And when he got the snook to the boat, he saw that he had barely hooked him. So he set down his rod, hopped in the water, grabbed the fish, and pulled it into the boat. Love called his dad and went back to the dock, and the young angler and his dad brought the fish to Zeke's Marina, where it was weighed on a certified scale at 7.04 pounds. The current official snook record is that of a fish weighing 5 pounds, 2.6 ounces, caught last year. And Love's fish will actually be the second record-setting snook ever caught in Alabama. That's because, according to Scott Bannon, the Director of Marine Resources at the state's Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, the species is not native to Alabama, but they are native to Florida. And in the last few years, they've started to show up in Alabama, mainly juveniles, but this one, as you can see, was a little bit bigger. Certification should take place in the next week or two. And man, oh man, this is a great fish story for this young man.
Congratulations on your new record.
All right, stick around. Right after this very short break and word from our sponsors, we're going to be right back with Bill Brassard with the National Shooting Sports Foundation. I'm heading to Sportsman's Cove Lodge with my daughter Faith. We're going to be fishing there from July 6th through the 9th, and guess what? They've got space available, and they are offering $1,000 off per person. So here's your opportunity to come fishing with me. I would love to fish with you for lingcod, for salmon, for halibut, true cod, and more. Again, the dates are July 6th through the 9th. It's $1,000 off. Go to alaskasbestlodge.com and sign up for a trip to Sportsman's Cove Lodge.
Looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer an affordable platform to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting host John Cruz through his website at AmericanOutdoorsRadio.com. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. But hurry, if you wait too long, this big opportunity might just get away. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com.
Come explore the Dalles in Oregon for outdoors fun. Hike amongst the wildflowers, bike our riverfront trail, or visit the Gorge Discovery Center where you can enjoy a live raptor display, or even check out our National Neon Sign Museum. But don't forget the fishing. We've got salmon, steelhead, bass, walleye, and monster-sized sturgeon waiting just for you. When the day is done, tell those tall tales at one of our wineries, breweries, or restaurants and plan your next adventure. Find out more at explorethedalles.com.
A sharp blade makes short work of any project you have in the outdoors, in the kitchen, or in the shop. Hone your knives and tools with quality power and manual sharpeners from WorkSharp. Find out more at WorkSharpTools.com.
Campers, adventure seekers, hunters, and foodies. No matter the lifestyle, we can all agree on one thing. Great food and great people are worth remembering. At Camp Chef, we don't just make grills. We create each product knowing that a warm meal is always better when it's shared with those we love. Learn more about Camp Chef grills, smokers, and portable cooking equipment at campchef.com. That's campchef.com for a better way to cook outdoors.
Next up on America Outdoors Radio, we want to have you mark your calendar for the week of June 1st through June 7th. That is actually the National Shooting Sports Foundation's inaugural Gun Storage Week. And with us here to tell you more about it is Bill Brassard. He's the Senior Communications Director for the organization. Bill, great to have you back on the air.
Good to be back, John. Great to be here.
Tell us about Gun Storage Check Week and why the National Shooting Sports Foundation is rolling this out.
Sure. Well, these awareness weeks are occasions to amplify a message. Think Breast Cancer Awareness Month or National Suicide Prevention Month, and that's what we're trying to do with Gun Storage Check Week. And our message is to gun owners and their families to take a moment, today even, to check on your gun storage practices and, if necessary, improve them with a device that meets your needs. I mean, for some people, it could be a cable lock. For others, it could be a lockbox, or for people who own a lot of guns because they're hunters or big-time target shooters, it might be a full-size gun cabinet or gun safe, but there's a way to make it secure. And by the way, that's our slogan, make sure it's secure.
Well, it's a great advice because, there's really three broad categories why you need to keep your firearms secure. And I guess one of them, especially in this day and age where theft is rampant, is to prevent them being stolen, isn't it?
Well, it is. Unfortunately, stolen guns from both homes and vehicles are on the rise, and that's a really good incentive to use one of those devices, particularly something that's not movable, like a gun safe or a lockbox that's screwed down or into a wall or some way so it's not movable, to help prevent thefts of guns, because we don't want our guns to be used in a crime at some point down the line by someone who's stolen it.
Absolutely. Another reason is to prevent tragedies like curious children going to the nightstand and opening it up and finding the revolver that mom or dad keeps there for safety, and then a horrible accident happens when they pull the trigger and somebody gets hurt or killed.
That's right. We know millions of gun owners store their guns responsibly. We know that, but we still can do more to reduce these types of accidents and other misuse. So, the message is hiding a gun is not secure storage, whether it's in your home or a vehicle, on top of the refrigerator and in the closet somewhere, in the shoebox or in a backpack in a car. That's not secure storage. And particularly children are curious and they know where things are in the house that you may not think they know. So again, there's ways to make guns secure from what we say is unauthorized persons, and certainly an unsupervised child would fall into that category. Also, it's school is going to be getting out soon, and kids are at home or at another's home more often unsupervised than they might be, and so it's a good time to, again, check your storage practices and make sure that those guns are not accessible to someone you would not want to have it in their hands.
We also want to keep them safe from certain adults. Suicide prevention is another issue here. And I'm just looking at your press release. I was not aware of this. That half of all firearm-related fatalities are suicide deaths. And among veterans, the rate tops 72%. That is staggering. But by securing these firearms, you can really cut down on that. Why don't you explain why?
Yeah, so secure storage is one of the best ways to help reduce access and to save lives of someone who may be in crisis, having suicidal thoughts. And the reason for that is there's a concept called time and space. And so when someone is in crisis and cannot access a means of self-harm like a firearm, that creates a pause. And that pause means that it may give time for that period of acute risk to pass or an intervention to take place, and that pause can save a life. And what's really interesting is researchers tell us that if someone cannot access their chosen means, very often they do not go on to find a substitute means. So really, secure storage of firearms or other means can truly help save a life, and that's really important to consider when you're a firearms owner and you have someone in the home who may be going through a difficult time.
You're listening to America Outdoors Radio. We're talking to Bill Brassard with the National Shooting Sports Foundation about their organization's Gun Storage Check Week, which is running June 1st through the 7th. And again, I want to make sure those firearms are secured either in gun cabinets or safes, lockable gun cases, lock boxes, or through the use of cable locks, which actually are free of charge through the National Shooting Sports Foundation's Project Child Safe program. For those who are not aware of what a cable lock is and how it works, why don't you explain that?
Sure. It's sort of like a bicycle lock with a padlock and a braided steel cable, and it can fit many types of firearms, handguns, shotguns, rifles. It's typically installed through the ejection port and out the magazine well, and it requires, in most cases, that the firearm be unloaded, which sort of adds an extra level of safety when you use a cable lock. And it's an inexpensive way to help prevent access, especially by children, to your gun. And the best thing is that most people live in an area where they can access a cable lock free of charge through our Project Child Safe program. We partner with law enforcement departments who can request free gun locks and safety literature at projectchildsafe.org and distribute those to the community. And this program's been going on for 25 years. This is its 25th anniversary. And in that time, we distributed 41 million firearm safety kits that include the cable lock and a safety brochure. So it's a great and inexpensive tool to make your firearm secure in your home or in your vehicle.
So contact your local law enforcement agency, whether it's a sheriff's office or police department, and see if they are participating in the Project Child Safe program and get yourself a free cable lock to make your firearm more secure. And you can also find out more about this promotion at gunstorage.check.org. That is the website that the National Shooting Sports Foundation has set up for their Gun Storage Check Week, which again is running June 1st through the 7th. And it's also a good time to check your local sporting goods stores and firearm stores because a lot lot of them are going to be running some deals, some sales on gun safes, gun cases, lock boxes, etc. And there's another reason people ought to go to gunstoragechek.org, isn't there, Bill?
Yes, there is, because you can win one of 25 free lock boxes if you go to the site and enter. There's no cost to enter, but you can get 5 extra entries if you watch a safety video covering the core rules of gun safety and an overview of safe storage devices. So it's well worth the few minutes to watch the video to get those extra entries for the lockbox. I would also say on the website, if people are inclined to help promote Gun Storage Check Week, whether you're an individual or an organization or a company, that we have promotional materials on the site that are shareable online, or posters and graphic, and all the different ways to help share this important message on securing guns when they're not in use to help prevent unwanted access.
The website again, gunstoragechek.org. Head there today to find out more about this Gun Storage Check Week running June 1st through the 7th, and to enter for a chance to win a lockbox from the National Shooting Sports Foundation. That's gunstoragechek.org. Bill, always a pleasure to catch up with you on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you, John. Thanks for helping to promote this important message. Appreciate it very much.
I'm Anthony Imperato, president of Henry Repeating Arms. Patriotic Americans are looking to protect and provide for their families, now more than ever. Henry has over 200 rifles and shotguns to choose from, made in America or not made at all, and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Go to henryusa.com and order our free catalog, decals, and a list of dealers in your area. That's henryusa.com. Thank you, and God bless America.
A sharp blade makes short work of any project you have in the outdoors, in the kitchen, or in the shop. Hone your knives and tools with quality power and manual sharpeners from WorkSharp. Find out more at WorkSharpTools.com.
Hunt of a Lifetime is a nationwide nonprofit organization dedicated to providing hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under who suffer from life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. These adventures make big differences in the lives of those who participate in them, and in many cases are literally a dream come true that brings hope and therapy to their lives. Find out more, get involved, or donate today at huntofalifetime.org. That's huntofalifetime.org. huntofalifetime.org.
Next up on America Outdoors Radio, I've got the owner of a company called Fishoholic in my studio. His name is Gordie Murphy, and if you are looking for fishing apparel and maybe fishing sunglasses and more, you got to check out Fishoholic. Now, it's not Fish-A-holic, it's Fishoholic. And Gordie, I got to say, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about your company. Where are you based, and exactly how did you get into this business?
We're based in Klamath, Washington, where I live, and I grew up at Toutle, right at the base of Mount St. Helens, and basically been fishing since 4th grade pretty heavily with my family, and have been fishing forever. And we started Fishoholic. I didn't really come up with the name. I was called the Fishoholic by a couple business friends down in Las Vegas, and decided to get the registered trademark. Couldn't believe it wasn't taken, and I got the registered trademark, and the rest is history.
You mentioned you lived in Toutle, Washington, and folks, that's right by Mount St. Helens, and as you know, this is Memorial Day weekend, but on May 18th, 1980, the mountain blew in a big way. Where were you at when the mountain blew?
At 8:32 a.m. it blew, and I was actually in Longview. My dad and mom were in Toutle. And actually, they had, my dad had just put up a bow target, and the cops were coming, the sheriff was coming, and Dad goes, I got to go shoot at this target.
So, the world's coming to an end, and your dad's going to shoot a bow target.
I had just got the target set up, and he had not got to shoot at it because it got dark, and he shot at it that morning. They packed up and left, and then picked me up, and we went down to Ostrander, and we literally couldn't get back to our house for about 2 months.
As I recall, the Interstate 5 bridge over the Toutle River, didn't it collapse?
The I-5 bridge did not collapse. However, there was a bunch of bridges that did. The one right out of town of Tootle collapsed and was gone, and there was a couple others, I believe. But that was the main one that got me to my house that took you up to where Harry Truman lived.
Wow. And Harry Truman, if you know your Mount St. Helens history, and a lot of folks have forgotten it by now, he was the man that owned a lodge up at Spirit Lake right next to Mount St. Helens, and he was told to leave, and he wouldn't leave, and Harry Truman's remains are still up there somewhere up at Spirit Lake.
I believe he's under
a lot of mud flow.
I think 400 feet of mud or something.
Right.
I used to know all the stats, but...
Well, if you ever get a chance, folks, visit the Visitor Center at Mount St. Helens. It's really well done. It's maintained by the U.S. Forest Service, and it's definitely worth seeing. But getting back to Fishoholic, that was a little sidetrack there, folks. Let's start off talking about your sunglasses, because your sunglasses very popular.
We definitely have a great line of sunglasses. We're usually in the top 50 on Amazon for fishing sunglasses, if not even top 10 many times, especially at Christmas and Father's Day. So big sellers, they're about $25.
Great price point. And, you know, you and I are both bass anglers, and you're a walleye angler too. And you know the importance of good sunglasses. I mean, I have a habit of buying cheap sunglasses, and when I'm paired with an angler who's got better sunglasses, they can see into the water a lot better than I can. Your sunglasses, they might be affordable, but they're not cheap.
No, I really wanted the high-quality lens. It's not going to be your $200 pair of sunglasses, but how many of us lose those? And I'm that guy that has had them, and I go with that $25 pair, so I kind of wanted that range of $20 to $25. Found it, have a high-quality lens, and I have various lenses. So during the day, I actually have a yellow lens with a silver mirror over it when you're taking off at 5:30 in the morning, and you can actually use that if it's really overcasting in the morning. Then I'll switch to amber, and then midday I'll switch to my blue mirror over a smoke lens or just a matte black lens. So a lot of times during the day, I'll actually use 3 different pairs, changing up the lens color, which is probably more important than the rest of it.
What's the website for Fishoholic?
Fishoholic.com.
Well, that makes it really easy. Again, folks, we're talking to Gordie Murphy. He's the man behind Fishoholic, and he sells not just regular sunglasses. You actually sell bifocal sunglasses, too. Ingenious.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's ingenious, but I think it had been done before. I remember my dad had a pair way back in the day, and my God, were they ugly.
These are not ugly. These are just fine.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually designed the frame, and it's for us old guys, and I'm one of them. I've been wearing readers for about, I guess 6 years now, and went out and talked to a manufacturer, designed my frame, got the frame done, and absolutely, I've been wearing them for about 4 or 5 years now. I wore them all day last couple days. Last weekend, caught a lot of big bass. And when I need to go tie that lens or get a backlash out, it happens quickly. I just pretty much wear them all the time now on the boat.
Amen, brother. I'm with you in terms of the eyesight. And as a matter of fact, folks, we are giving away a pair of sunglasses from Fishoholic today. If you want a chance to win them, just go to AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com, shoot us a message on the Contact Us page. Let us know what station you're listening to, where you live in terms of city and state, and you're entered for a chance to win. We will give away a pair of these sunglasses after our last broadcast this weekend. All right, moving on to your fishing shirts. You know, it's funny. A lot of folks just fish in T-shirts, but out here in eastern Washington, most people think of Washington State as like completely wet, but this is really dry, really hot out here, lots of sagebrush, lots of sun, and you've got the perfect shirt for fishing out here.
Thank you. Actually, I spent about 7 months designing a sun shirt. Sounds silly, but I have shirts that I got 20 years ago that actually fit me. I wear a 2X, and of course the wife's like, oh, you really need a 3X now. I think you might be getting bigger. And
what a supportive wife.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. I have gotten a little bit bigger, but when I go lay down a 2X today on a 2X that I bought 20 years ago, it's literally not as wide. So I went to the manufacturers and I literally would get a shirt. I took a 3X and then that was the base of the body, and actually had to angle in the arms because it was too wide of a cuff. And then the cuff was too long. And that was the problem. You go buy a 3X and it looks like you're wearing a dress. So I actually had to shorten the bottom up, and then I had to shorten the arms a little bit, but then bring them in at an angle. And then I also brought the mesh all the way underneath the armpits.
I love the idea of the mesh all the way into the armpits. That's fantastic. What's the main material? Is it polyester?
Probably. It's I hate to say that, but probably is. It's a UPF 50 material, sublimated printing on it, so it can't wash off, can't wear off. I've got, I think, 5 or 6 different colors now, and you're not going to have the logo, so there's no printing on it like the normal we would have it, where the logo would come off. It's actually all printed right into it.
So you got your sunglasses, you got your performance fishing shirts. What are some of your other best-selling items?
Well, going right into wearing the shirt, I actually also have the UPF 50 gloves. And on my gloves, I actually have the leather. I mean, there's a lot of gloves out there, but I also have an extra layer of silicone sticky that actually helps you hold that reel and that rod.
Nice.
And you really need those. I tell you the truth, I didn't like them when I first got them, getting them because people wanted them, and then I didn't wear them, but then the tops of my hands were just getting so burnt.
Right.
They're like turning to leather. Now I wear them pretty much every single day. And even if I'm on the west side, you actually get a lot of sun. We think because it is west side. East side, we just wear it all the time, too. But on the west side, I'm out in the lake. I'm out there for 8 hours fishing in a tournament. And you're going to burn the tops of your hands because we just think it's not that sunny. Well, it's sunny. So I've been wearing those. The gloves are great. I got boonie hats. Yesterday I was actually wearing my boonie hat. I have flex fit hats, snapback hats, beanies. I have cold weather gloves. I've got visors, tees and hoodies. Tumblers in 4 sizes, 20 ounce, 30 ounce, got 40 ounce, another 36 ounce, and dry bags.
Well, there you go. All the apparel and accessories you need to be a successful angler on the water. You can find it all at Fishoholic.com. That's Fishoholic.com. The owner's Gordie Murphy. He's been kind enough to spend some time with me today, and since we're neighbors, we're going to probably be spending a lot of time together in the near future.
I can't wait to get out on the water with you.
I'm looking forward to that, too. Again, Fishoholic.com. And if you want a chance to win a pair of sunglasses from Fishoholic, just go to AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com, shoot me a message, and just let me know what station you're listening to, what city and state you're from, and you are entered for a chance to win that pair of sunglasses from Fishoholic. Gordie, thanks so much for sharing this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you very much. Had a great time, and I bet you we have a lot of Fishaholics out there.
Do you love to fish? Do you love to eat fish? Well, if you do, you know how important it is to have something to keep things sharp. Now, in the boat, it might be something to keep your hook sharp, like maybe the pocket knife sharpener from Work Sharp, which also works just fine along with the guided field sharpener for keeping fillet knives sharp. So when it comes to cleaning those fish you catch for the day, you can get that done in a hurry. And let's not forget, back at the house, when you're preparing those fish for a meal, that's when you want to have a kitchen knife sharpener, and there's several electric ones available. You can find them all at WorkSharpTools.com, which lists all sorts of both manual and electric sharpeners you can use in the kitchen, in the shop, or in the field. Sharp hooks and sharp knives make for a happy day on the water, so get your sharpener today at WorkSharpTools.com or look for these products at quality sporting goods stores and hardware stores near you.
This is the time of year to get out and cook out. So make your next meal sizzle with Camp Chef, the brand known for quality outdoor cooking. From camp stoves to cast iron, from smokers to grills, Camp Chef will change the way you cook outdoors. To eat like a king on your next adventure, go to campchef.com or visit your local sporting goods store and get cooking. Whether you're serving breakfast in the backcountry or barbecue on the back patio, savor the simplicity with Camp Chef. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
I'm heading to Sportsman's Cove Lodge with my daughter Faith. We're going to be fishing there from July 6th through the 9th, and guess what? They've got space available, and they are offering $1,000 off per person. So here's your opportunity to come fishing with me. I would love to fish with you for lingcod, for salmon, for halibut, true cod, and more. Again, the dates are July 6th through the 9th. It's $1,000 off. Go to alaskasbestlodge.com and sign up for a trip to Sportsman's Cove Lodge.
Hunt of a Lifetime is a nationwide nonprofit organization dedicated to providing hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under who suffer from life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. These adventures make big differences in the lives of those who participate in them, and in many cases are literally a dream come true that brings hope and therapy to their lives. Find out more, get involved, or donate today at huntofalifetime.org. That's huntofalifetime.org.
huntofelifetime.org.
You know, you see a huge group of people and maybe they're in line to do something and they seem happy about it. You have to wonder, okay, what am I missing? What's going on here? What are these people excited about? Well, in this case, it's thousands of people and they're joining MediShare. Why? Well, MediShare is a much more affordable alternative to health insurance. It's reliable, too. It's a well-run community of Christians. They've been sharing each other's medical expenses for more than 30 years. And if you switch, you'll likely save hundreds of dollars a month. Most members wind up paying about half what they used to. And you know what? They find they like it better. MediShare's member satisfaction rate is 98%. That's way better than health insurance, as you might imagine. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in. You get telehealth 24/7, huge freedom in choosing your doctors. At least check into it. This may be one of those things where you're like, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Why not start saving now? Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
It's Memorial Day weekend, the official kickoff to the camping season for this year. And if you're going to talk about camping, you got to talk about food. And with us here to help you out with that is Brooks Hansen with Camp Chef. Brooks, happy Memorial Day weekend. Great to have you back on the show.
Thanks, John. It's good to be on the show. And you're right, camping season's approaching fast. And I think there's going to be lots of good food had at campsites this year. So we're always happy to help.
Well, we're going to talk more about a couple recipes in a minute. But before we do, we should talk about the Memorial Day sale that Camp Chef is having through May 27th. And you've got some good stuff for sale to include your Explorer 14 dual burner stove for only $99.99. That's one heck of a deal. Tell our listeners about the Explorer 14.
The Explorer is like one of our original stoves. It's really what Camp Chef was founded on. It's a two-burner stove, 30,000 BTUs on each burner, so you got 60,000 BTUs of power. It's a lighter two-burner stove of our heavier car camping stoves because it doesn't have the side shelves and the leg design's a little different. But it's just so robust. There's some really cool things with the modularity that you have with the two-burner. If you're just wanting to get into camping and you want a powerful stove that you can cook any meal up, the Explorer is your go-to. And at $99, you can't go wrong. That's a heck of a deal for our Memorial Day sale. And then you can outfit it with a barbecue box, with a pizza oven, with a set of cast iron. You can use those cast iron Dutch ovens or skillets to cook in, and then also flat-top griddles. And then, like I said, 100% modular, so you could put a griddle that covers both burners, so you have one big flat top, or a grill box, so you have one big grill, or you can modular it out where you just have one burner with a grill box and one burner with a flat top. So 100% versatile and portable and just a really great stove to have at any campsite, kind of a staple, so to speak, for Camp Chef.
Also on sale is the Pro 14, and this is actually the first stove I had from Camp Chef and literally used the heck out of it until it just the weather finally beat it up a little bit after several years on the back patio, but the Pro 14's a great deal. Why don't you tell our listeners the differences between the Pro 14 and the Explorer 14?
So the Pro 14 is what Camp Chef was founded on. And it's the premier stove in that category, meaning it's got folding legs with built-in leg levelers. It's got folding side shelves, so now you have shelves so you can set your spatulas, cooking utensils, lids on a shelf next to while you're cooking. It's got a box. The same burners are in both stoves, but this one's got a box built around the burner rather than a drum, so you can get a little bit more even heat when you use the accessories. Also built-in ignition, so you don't need a lighter to light it. The Explorer does not come with built-in ignition. The Pro 14 does. So it's similar stove. They both do the same thing and take the same accessories. The Explorer's just, I would like to call it the high-end model. That one's the LT, so to speak, or the premium in that category. So you can get an entry-level base model, or you can get the premium model, and the Pro 14 is the premium.
Well, both are great for car camping. If you're going to have it, you definitely want to get a grill box. And you just happen to have your grill boxes on sale, both one-burner grill boxes and two-burner grill boxes, too.
Yeah, they're on sale. I mean, this is a great opportunity for anybody wanting to get out and start camping this summer. Now's the time to buy. Get your gear. You can get it while it's on sale. It's a great time of year. We're trying to incentivize those that get excited about camping and want to get out so they can get the best deals right now before the season really gets going in full swing this summer. And that grill box is, like you mentioned, John, you said, if you're going to get a stove, you got to have a grill box because it's a staple in the campsite. Cast iron grill grates, it gets up to like 800 degrees if you want to do really hot, fast sear. Otherwise, you can do some stuff low and slow. I just was at a turkey camp and used that, and we did some elk back straps, and I kept it down to like 250 degrees, and just did it kind of slow for about 20, 30 minutes, and cranked the heat and seared it off, and man, it was great. With a little blackberry reduction, it was delicious.
You've also got griddles on sale, too, both 2-burner and 1-burner griddles. So, again, everything you need for Memorial Day camping and summer camping is available from Camp Chef on sale right now through the Explorer 14 or the Pro 14 and its accessories. Let's talk a little bit about cooking up food in camp. Again, a lot of families are out this weekend for Memorial Day, and some of them are tuning in here and wondering what to cook up for dinner. What's an easy but delicious thing that you would recommend that you can cook up on the Pro 14 or the Explorer 14?
Probably one of my favorite things to do in camp is smash burgers. And I'll take the griddle and I'll do it on the griddle. And something's pretty cool. Camp Chef, we just came out with a brand new smash burger kit. You'll see that on our website. But with a steamer lid that comes with it, a smasher, a nice little smash burger spatula. But I love to take either ground venison, ground elk, ground beef, and you roll it into your, quarter-pound patties or smaller, or not patties, but balls, season them, hit a hot griddle, put a little oil on there or butter, and then just smash those suckers down and saute some onions and cheese. That's probably one of my favorite things is a smash burger.
All right, let's talk breakfast because that's the other popular meal when you're camping. Everyone wants to wake up and have a great breakfast. Are we talking biscuits and gravy, eggs and bacon, or something else?
Well, the cool thing about using a Camp Chef stove is you're not limited to just doing one thing. With that stove and the versatility with the griddle and the grill box, there's nothing you really can't cook. And you talk to any chef, they'll say, hey, you give me a cast iron pan and a solid heat source, I can make you anything. So you're right. Is it biscuits and gravy? Is it pancakes and bacon and eggs? For me, man, biscuits and gravy are delicious, but I think when I'm thinking camp meals, I want bacon, sausage, eggs, and hash browns.
I agree. I'm not going to argue with that at all. One other thing we have to talk about is desserts, and I'm definitely thinking about cast iron or Dutch oven here. What would you recommend?
Man, when it comes to dessert, I think when you're in camp, there's nothing better than a peach cobbler. It's easy. You can do it in one of our Dutch ovens. Even if you use a Dutch oven liner, you're not going to sacrifice any taste, and it's going to be easier to clean, and you can just do a Dutch oven cobbler dump cake. You're just adding the ingredients, put the cake mix on top, and then throw it on some heat, low and slow, and let that sucker just bake and cook. Serve it with a little fresh ice cream. It's hard to beat a good Dutch oven cobbler. And while you're doing that, people are always like, I'm really concerned with burning it. How do I know that I'm not burning it and I don't want it underdone? And my thoughts are, if you're looking, you're not cooking. So just let it be. Quit lifting the lid. Just let it do its thing. And if it smells done, it's done. If you can't smell anything at all, leave it alone. If it smells burnt, it's burnt. So just keep an eye on it, and you'll know smell, and then you can kind of manage time and temperature and follow the directions, and you should be good. But, yeah, I think a good Dutch oven cobbler is a staple in camp.
Sounds delicious. There you go, folks. Some great ideas for camp cooking. And, again, take advantage of this Memorial Day sale going on through the 27th. Just go to campchef.com. That's the website to go to, campchef.com. You can get a great deal on the Explorer 14, the Pro 14, all sorts of accessories, and a pellet grill, too, that we didn't have time to talk about. So check it all out at campchef.com. Buy yourself some Camp Chef products today and have yourself a great summer of camping and delicious food to go with it. Brooks, thanks as always.
John, thanks so much for having me. Happy camping.
In other news, if you've been listening to the show the last couple of weeks, you've probably noticed some ads for Sportsman's Cove Lodge urging you to go fishing with me. That's because Sportsman's Cove Lodge is offering $1,000 off on some early July trips. I'm going to be heading up there with my daughter July 6th through the 9th, and I would love it if you fished on a boat with me. Not only would you get to fish with my daughter and I, but again, you'll get $1,000 off per person. So what's normally a $3,900 trip becomes a $2,900 trip. And this is an all-inclusive package. All of your meals and accommodations are covered during your stay at the lodge. So let me tell you how this works. You'll fly out of Seattle to Ketchikan. You'll have lunch on your own in Ketchikan and then catch a float plane to Prince of Wales Island and Saltery Cove, where you're going to find Sportsman's Cove Lodge. You'll enjoy a great dinner, have an orientation to your boat, and the boats are great great. They are all 37-foot walk-around boats. They all have enclosed cabins and a stand-up head, which is always nice. And you get to fish with the same people every day. There's only 6 guests on each boat, plus a captain and a deckhand, so it's a great experience. As for the fishing, it's always good. You usually start out going after halibut and true cod, and then you'll transition maybe to lingcod, and then it's time for the salmon. You can catch Chinook salmon, you can catch coho salmon, there's pink salmon, there's chum salmon, and on some days it is just craziness on the boat where multiple people are hooked up at any given time. And I love the way they fish for the salmon, too. You're not trolling for them. No, you are mooching for them. It's very hands-on, it's very easy, and it's a lot of fun. The customer service is unparalleled. There's only 30 guests at the lodge at any time, and there's 30 staff members. You'll get to fish for 3 days at Sportsman's Cove Lodge and spend 3 nights there. After your final day of fishing, you'll be taken by float plane to Ketchikan, where you'll spend the night on your own before boarding a plane back to Seattle. And from there to whatever destination you call home. If you're interested in one of these promotional trips or of fishing with me, there's actually 4 slots on the boat I'm on that are still available. Simply go to alaskasbestlodge.com. That's the website for Sportsman's Cove Lodge. Go to alaskasbestlodge.com. Book an early July trip, preferably the 6th through the 9th, and tell them you heard it on the radio and you want to fish with me. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you up there. It's going to be a blast. And on that note, it's time to go. But here's hoping you're blessed in the days ahead and that you get to enjoy some time in Mother Nature, whether it's on the water or on the hiking trail or in a campground. After all, it is your country and your outdoors, so get out there and enjoy it.